Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today is day 2 of the Conjuring series. So we're going through the entire universe of the Conjuring movies right before The Devil Made Me Do It, which comes out on the 4th. So if you guys are interested in that, that comes out in theaters and in HBO Max on the 4th of June. But today we are talking about the second movie in the Conjuring universe, which is Annabelle. Annabelle was released in 2014. It was written by Gary Dauberman and directed by John R. Leonetti. No spoilers, but essentially the idea here is that there is this nice couple, and they are haunted by this spirit that is possessing this doll because this spirit was murdered while the spirit died in favor of the devil next door before they moved. So it's this huge, doll thing, right? Which, if you think about dolls, which a lot of people do, this one's scary. And I think this movie was scary. I don't think it was quite as scary as The Conjuring for me. And this movie is kind of based on a true story. It's also kind of not. They're yeah, we know Annabelle's real, but we don't really have the full story about it, so we're just trying to make it our own thing, which is fine. It's a solid, fun movie, but I don't think it's quite as serious as the first Conjuring movie was. I really don't. And that isn't to say that it's bad, because it's really not that bad. There's a lot of redeeming qualities in this movie, and the main redeeming quality that I can think about is I love the characters. The characters in this one are really, really solid, really well thought out, and really well done. The horror aspect was good for the most part. I liked the design of the devil they have here, because they keep that design throughout the entire Conjuring universe. He's just completely black and charred. He has these awesome curled horns. He looks really good. He's a good version of the devil that I would imagine. And it works really well for them later on when they're trying to do jump cuts and all that kind of stuff with him. So it looks really, really good and really, really realistic. A lot of the horror aspects kind of dumbed down, which isn't very fun. It honestly kind of felt like a more soft version of what I would imagine this movie would have been. And we get more Annabelle as we go along throughout the series, but this first Annabelle movie in particular, in my opinion, was a little soft and not the scariest I've seen. I also don't think it's the best Annabelle movie. In fact, I think it's the worst Annabelle movie, which is kind of crazy for me because it almost never works like that. But I think it was a good setup for the character, because we did talk about it a little bit in The Conjuring, but not a whole lot. And then now we have this whole new spin-off series from The Conjuring and really building up a universe for The Conjuring, which, as a film, I can appreciate that it did that, because it could have fell flat like The Nun did and The Curse of La Llorona, which we'll get to because those were really bad. And just the idea that this technically started the universe, right? The Conjuring started the entire series. It did. But the Annabelle movie shows that it can be a multifaceted, giant conglomerate universe, which is really cool for a horror film and a horror genre as a whole, is knowing that we can have series that are connected that aren't the same, right? And we see the Warrens a little bit here and there, and it's good. It's a good movie. Let's talk some of the actors, starting with Annabelle Wallis as Mia, completely unrelated. Her first name is Annabelle, and she's starring in a movie called Annabelle. That's creepy. I would not have hired her. She was good, but I would not have hired her. I think she's really fine. She plays the mother of this new baby that is being possessed by this doll. And she's fine. I mean, she's a solid mid-tier wife that you would expect. That's kind of thing about both of these actors is they're solid mid-tier. They are not whoa, giant actors. No, they're mid-tier people who are just there to just be husband and wife. And it works. It works out just fine. I appreciate what they're trying to do here. And Ward Horton played John, who was the husband. And again, same thing, mid-tier husband. And it's interesting because it worked so well. And it felt so real. These characters felt really real to me, which is way better, in my opinion, than The Conjuring. It's one thing that I think that Annabelle does better. The only thing I did think Annabelle did better was characters that were relatable. The Conjuring had cool characters and they worked for me, but they weren't as relatable as Annabelle's character were. And that's really the only thing that I think that was better. There's a lot of issues with Annabelle, and I'm going to chalk down a lot of it to just kind of There's a whole lot of suspense And there's only like a couple times throughout the whole movie where you can like let it out. There's like the basement scene, which is part of the elevator scene, which is directed by James Wan actually, which is nice. And like there's a couple other scenes that just like feel really good. And then most of it's just like ramp, a little bit let off, ramp, a little bit let off. And the other movie's kind of okay. It's not great. It's okay. And Alfre Woodard was in here, and she was great, but she didn't get enough screen time, in my opinion. I think she could have been an actually cool character, and then they could have killed her off. That would have been nice. I like them to kill characters off because it makes you like feel for them, but they don't do that here in the series. Which, whatever, it is what it is. But that's gonna be it for me talking about Annabelle today. I'm gonna go ahead and give Annabelle a B+. Still worth a check out. It's not available on streaming as far as I know as of the time that I watched it. I'm assuming it'll be added to HBO Max at some point before The Devil Made Me Do It comes out, because that'd be the smart thing to do. But I didn't find it anywhere. I did rent it, but that's okay. It's a fun movie. It really is. It's solid. It's okay. It's good. It's just not up to par with what The Conjuring was sharing with us. And I kind of expected more from it, and we will get more from them in the future. But that's going to do it for me today. If you guys like the video, please consider subscribing. It's a huge help. Like the video and follow along, because this is just day 2 of our this is just day 2 of our series here. So we got a lot to do. We got a lot going on. It's really cool, really crazy. So hopefully you guys are following along. But that's going to do it for me today. And as always, keep watching movies and television. Stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.